Hello, welcome to Off Grid Thoughts channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about my radio control car hobby a little bit. I picked this team associated RC10B4.1 factory team kit up on eBay maybe about 10-12 years ago, and it's a 110 scale electric buggy, and primarily, that's what I'm into. I'm into the 110 scale cars and trucks, and I pretty much this vehicle I'm gonna build as a road car. Um, not really, it's not really gonna run it off road too much, but the reason I build a car like this and put it on road is so it's a little bit more durable, and I mean, it's a little bit, more likely to survive some kind of a crash and, different things. So, and I like it to be a little bit off of the ground. A lot of the on-road cars tend to be really too close to the ground. And so I'm going to be putting road tires on this one. But I started building this kit a few years ago, and um, initially I wanted to really just build a B4, but I had seen this kit brand new for about $270 on eBay, shrink wrap, brand new in the box. So I said, well, I'm not going to pass this kit up because I'd probably only be able to find a used B4 that maybe I would have to fix up. And I thought, no, just build a brand new kit if you can find one. So that's what I'm doing with this one. Um, but initially, I figured out, well, you really can't use a full size servo, your typical size servo in this kit. It's got to be smaller. And so, I got a servo that would fit. This is a high speed, high torque, metal geared servo, metal case. Um, I admit it's a little bit heavy, but it has all the specs that I want. It's a digital servo. This is the first digital servo I've ever bought. Not sure what brand it is. My camera really won't focus, but it's like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to see. Not sure what that is, but I just went by spec and price specifications, how big it was, how fast, how much torque. Because you can put different size servos in these, but depending on what you put, you have to have different spacers on here, and um, so I researched the size of the RTR servo that they put in some of these kits, or some of the vehicles that are sold as an RTR. Plus, I found on a forum that somebody was using a high-tech servo that you didn't have to use any spacers with that one. That servo was not, it was just a standard size or a standard servo. I prefer when I'm high speeding a vehicle, because this is going to be a high speed pavement runner, and I didn't want to use spacers with the servo. So this size, I kind of went by size with this. Um, so now I can kind of continue with my build now that I have the servo. Another thing was, this came with a ball differential, and they say that that is stronger than the gear differential. It might be. But I just didn't want to build it. It's got all those little steel balls, and you have to adjust it. I'm sure it's probably pretty simple. I have no doubt about it, but I just didn't want to build it. So I picked up this geared transmission differential from eBay somebody was selling it. It was for a T4, which is the same transmission, the truck version of this vehicle. And so I put the factory team motor plate on it, and it had a motor plate, but it didn't have the cooling grooves. So, and I put a slipper eliminator on it. Um, so, I put some thin RC gear grease. A lot of people, they just put the liquid lubricant on their gears. And you can do that, but what'll happen is you have to take it back apart and put more. Um, and I didn't really want to take this back apart, you know. And but the thing is, if you put enough grease in here and you run it a number of times, it'll loosen up, and you won't have to keep taking it back apart. But I think most people prefer to put the lubricant oil in there. I don't really like doing my vehicles that way, but that's just a personal preference. Um, but so this transmission is ready to go because it's brand new. Um, and I didn't know if the gear transmission case was the same as the ball differential transmission, but it is. It's the same transmission case. So you can put either, your gear differential or your ball differential in the case. Um, and, so now that I have this, it's ready to go. I'll be able to start building the whole vehicle. Um, but this kit, as far as the servo go, it comes with a Futaba, however you want to say it, comes with that horn style, and it it only comes with that style. So I had to get a servo that had that type of spline. Um, I mean, I could have researched the other ones, but that's kind of time consuming, and so. Um, but one thing I would say, if you're building a vehicle that you're going to be doing some high speed driving, you need something that's high speed, because if you have a servo that's too slow and you're not going to have the response, you can crash the vehicle fairly easy if you don't have a responsive steering setup. So that's why I kind of waited to get one that was high speed, high torque. Um, I took my time and researched the specs, the specifications that I wanted in this vehicle, and I came up with this thing. But there's a lot of servos out there that'll work. I'm just doing mine, my own particular way, and because I know what I'm going to be doing with it, and but this is kind of my dream RC car right here. Um, there's other vehicles that have come along that are probably more capable, but this is the one that I want to do. And, because this is kind of the heritages of this vehicle's really linked to the original Gold Pan RC10. And to me, this one is kind of the last version that was of like the Gold Pan, the most similar, but the most modern at the same time. So um, I'll probably be putting up some more videos about this vehicle as I make progress on it. But I will show you um, and I'm glad I bought this when I did, because you don't really see these now. They don't come up too much, but this is an RTR body that I put some decals on. Um, and, so I'm going to be putting a Trinity 19 turn brush motor in it. I have a brushless motor, but I'm going to see you know, how fast that Komodo Dragon 19 turn motor is first. If I want some more speed, I'll try a brushless, but that was another item I had lost when I had moved. I can't find the wing anywhere, and so I have another wing for it, but I have to paint it. I'm going to be painting it yellow, similar to this color, and I've got to put some decals on the wing, paint it. So I'll have to spend some money for the paint. So I have a few more things to buy for this, but you know, this is going to be the body for it, and so yeah, I think it's a cool looking body. I didn't really have to paint it, you know. I'll just paint the wing. Um, the wing that I originally painted, it turned out really good. It was a really good match to this. It looked really nice. So, but yeah, I'm going to continue building this, and you know, I'm going to put street tires on this, and it's going to be a fast little car. You know, I've already got everything for it. Radio system. I am going to run a lipo battery in it. We'll see how that Trinity motor does, and but I've got this really cool looking orange. So, you know, I might end up putting that in here. It's a 10 turn. Um, but my brush motor is a 19 turn, but it's got the equivalent power of a 17 turn. Um, but yeah, if you have any questions or comments, you know, please feel free to leave them in the comment area. Um, you know, it's always good to have a hobby. You know, this has been a long time hobby for me that I haven't had time for in many years, and I'm going to try to get back into it a little bit. Um, you know, 'cause you know how it is these days. You're just so busy doing everything else. Um, well, thanks for watching. You know, don't give up on your hobbies and your off-grid dreams. Um, thanks a lot for watching. Take care out there. Until the next video.